Have you ever experienced feeling so much shame and guilt after eating something that you ended up binge eating just to deal with that feeling? I've seen this play out in 3 really common ways. Number 1, I've messed up and I'm feeling so bad about this that I'm going to numb myself with food just to escape this feeling for a while. Number 2, I've messed up, now I'm going to binge while telling myself this is the last time and tomorrow I'm going to be perfect. This one actually provides a couple of things. It provides an immediate release from difficult feelings by numbing ourselves with food, and it makes us feel better about saying yes to a binge because we convince ourselves in this moment that this is going to be the last time. But when is it ever the last time? Or number 3, which is I've messed up, nothing is worth it, why bother trying, I always fail, this is never going to get any better and I'm just going to give up because it hurts too much to keep trying. All of these 3 experiences and perspectives have a few things in common, but one of the common links between all of these is that toxic shame is at the core of them. I've best heard toxic shame described by John Bradshaw. Toxic shame is unbearable and always necessitates a cover-up. Refusing to accept our real selves, we try to create a more powerful false self, or we give up. This captures really well the all or nothing back and forth between shame and the grandiosity of telling ourselves that we are above our human needs. Now, when I say the grandiosity of telling ourselves that we are above our human needs, like attempting to live as a falsely invulnerable version of ourselves, this can include things like unsustainable diet and health practices, unrealistic expectations, and perfectionism. Now, attempting to live as a falsely invulnerable version of ourselves is one of the most problematic and dysfunctional things that we can do, because it gives us only 2 options: either be perfect or suffer so much shame and guilt and pain as a result of not being perfect that we drive ourselves into self-destructive habits. The pathway out of these situations can look different for different people. For some people, it might involve therapy. For some people, it might involve coaching. For some people, it might involve a more self-guided path of personal development and growth. But no matter which road we take, we need to come to a place where we can reevaluate our expectations. Rather than constantly reaching for or comparing ourselves with a falsely perfect, unattainable version of ourselves, let go of the false idol that you wish you could be. Now, I'm not saying don't try. I'm not saying don't aspire to things. I'm not saying don't make an effort. But I don't care who anyone is. Even Nelson Mandela screwed up sometimes. Not even the person you admire most in this world is perfect and good at everything, and I can guarantee that they've farted in the shower at least once. So self-acceptance is the solution, but that doesn't mean never challenging ourselves. Sustainable and inspiring progress and growth and fulfillment comes from believing that you are enough right now, believing that you are worthy right now, and being curious about what you can achieve, rather than striving to feel worthy. Now, this is hard, but it's a practice. We can practice beliefs by choosing where our energy and attention goes, and by focusing on evidence that supports a healthy point of view. Because if there are multiple points of view available, and we choose the one that makes us feel most shameful and inferior, that's kind of on us. And I know you may have experienced a lot of things in your life that reinforce feelings of shame. But the most important thing about shame to remember sometimes is that it is contagious. And a lot of people deal with their own shame by projecting it onto other people in one way or another. Sometimes this can be co-workers, sometimes this can be friends, sometimes, unfortunately, it can be parents. And if you've had people in your life who maybe weren't very good at dealing with their own issues, their own baggage, their own shame, and forced it upon you in one way or another, that's really hard. It's difficult to move past, and I'm so sorry that that's been your experience. Though we need to start recognizing that that has been the case and start being really clear with ourselves. Not my circus, not my monkeys. That was their baggage. I didn't deserve that. Now, something that might be really helpful for you here is the 20-day Strong Not Starving Reboot, which I am giving away for free this December 2025, just in case you're watching this in the future. The 20-Day Strong Not Starving Reboot is 20 days of short, bite-sized videos and lessons that really cover all the essentials around developing a confident and peaceful relationship with food. We talk about body image, we talk about difficult feelings, we talk about diets, and it includes really, really actionable and practicable steps. So if you want access to that this December for free, follow the link in this episode description to let me know where I can email you with details. But as far as our conversation today is concerned, remember that when it comes to food and body image, shame can create feedback loops that can become so distressing and so difficult that we actually end up drawn towards the things that we're trying to avoid. And the solution isn't to be harder on yourself. It isn't to give yourself more shame and more pressure. The solution is to practice a combination of acceptance, setting realistic expectations, and accountability. It is possible to challenge ourselves kindly. It is possible to hold ourselves accountable with kindness. We don't need shame in order to do that. So self-acceptance, setting realistic expectations, and kind accountability. This is what we're after here. So I'm not saying to give yourself a free pass to mistreat your body, but I am saying that trying to shame yourself into a better situation is not a winning strategy. So remember, follow the link in the episode description. Let me know where I can email you details of how to get access to the 20-Day Strong Not Starving Reboot, and we'll be in touch.